Hello, parents. This is some information that the college and career team would like to share with our sophomore parents that connects with the workshops that we just did with our sophomore students. So in this video, we'll go over what we discussed with the students, what students should be doing now, and also how parents can support. So the first thing that we covered with students in our workshop was the difference between jobs and careers. And we gave them examples of things that under jobs students do just in terms of, or adults just to earn money, that they're paid by the hour, that they don't necessarily have to have a lot of experience, and that short term not having as many benefits, and shifting their mindset to searching for that career and looking for that career that is going to be something that they enjoy, that provides a paid salary, one that they will prepare for, gives opportunity for investment, and that's going to provide for them benefits as well as the type of paycheck that they are looking for. So we also talked with students about education and training and how different careers are going to require different levels of education. So we know that a lot of our students' plans will change, and we tell them that's okay and encourage them to explore different career paths that they're interested in, and to know that within each career path they're interested in, that different education and hands-on training will be required. So we talk about how some occupations, some careers will start off right away and you start off in that career and you get on the job training, and that others are going to require school before they get any type of on the job training. We talk to them about certificate degrees. So we talk about vocational schools. We talk to them about our different programs that we have at the adult school that they can do after graduating if they want to go into a trade like plumbing or electrician. We talk to them about associate's degrees, and that some will get a 2-year degree, and that is where they'll end college. And some will do an associate's degree to transfer on to getting a 4-year degree. So we use Rio Hondo as an example often because they're our closest community college that offers associate's degree, but we also mentioned that there are many others. We also talked to them about bachelor's degrees, whether that's a bachelor's of art or bachelor's of science, and that these are degrees that students typically finish in 4 years. And we talked to them about how some careers will require advanced degrees, such as a master's, a doctorate, or going to law school. And one thing that we encourage our students to do is some self-analysis. So when finding that career, to look at different things in terms of what they're already doing that they like and that might be connected to career in the future. So looking at what sorts of things make them happy and what they're going to want to be able to do in the future, to maybe continue with that path, but also maybe they, really enjoy doing some things in their free time. So having the type of career where they'll have the type of hours or money to still have that amount of free time and be able to pursue those interests. We also ask them to look at what things they're good at right now. So what subjects come easiest to them, what classes they like the most, and talk about the different careers that connects to those. And also for them to, when they picture themselves and picture their future, is there already a career field that they see themselves being a part of, or a specific career that they already have in mind? And if not, maybe thinking about people they know in different careers and which ones might interest them. We talk to them again about what they're currently involved with, activities, clubs, sports, hobbies, their subjects in school that they like. And then we talk about different recommendations. So doing research, looking at career websites and assessments. And I'll tell you in a moment the assessment that we had them do. We also talk to them about talking to those people around them. So talking to professionals in the field, talking to their family. A lot of students have people in their family who might be doing a career they're interested in, or their family members have friends that have different careers that may be of interest. So talking to them and seeing if that might be a good fit. We encourage them to talk to their counselors who did these presentations for them and with the college and career team as a whole, and talking to their counselors about what they might be interested in. The counselors can give suggestions for different career assessments, and also talking to their teachers, especially for those subject areas that they're interested in. The teachers can tell them that if they continue to pursue that subject, what different careers that leads to. We also talked about how they might start having jobs in high school or after high school that give them an idea of what they do or don't want to do, taking advantage of job shadowing opportunities, volunteering, and that we have a list of places where they can volunteer in the guidance office or that they can find those places on their own. And we talk about classes that we have on campus that give them opportunity for hands-on learning on and off campus. And then we have students complete an assessment. So at Whittier, we have a partnership with what's called the California Colleges Guidance Initiatives, CCGI. So all of our students, we have free accounts for, and the students can log in if you're curious and show you what it looks like for them. And there are different assessments. So some of the assessments we have them do in our different grade level workshops. And then there are also additional assessments they can take. And on that website, they can look up different careers, and it tells them how much money those careers make, the education that's required for those careers, and different places where they can get that education to get that career. So we have them do an assessment called work values, and they have different categories, and then they rate them by how important those different categories are to them. So the example that you see on the screen for my ideal job, on a scale of 1 to 5, how important it is for them to make use of the abilities they have in what would be their ideal job. And then at the end of it, they get their results, and it tells them, where they scored in terms of what was most important to them, being all the way across in yellow to less important to them. And then based off of that, the website gives them different careers. And then, so they'll be in different categories. So this one, for example, gives you different careers that are within law, administrative law judges, adjudicators, hearing officers, and then it tells them the education levels that they would need depending, right? So some careers in law you can do, with a high school diploma, and then there are others that go all the way up to where they are going to need a postdoctoral training, and then gives them an idea of this is just the overall average salary for anyone in that field, but they can break it down to a smaller level and see for the individual jobs in that field how much they pay. And so this gave each student about 2-3 pages worth of different careers that match their values. That let them know, what they would need to study, the types of degrees, and how much money they could expect to make. The next thing we talk to them about is taking advantage of the opportunities that they have here on campus and to get ahead. And so we want to make sure to support all of our different students at the levels where we are. And some of our sophomores are already at a place where they are ready to take those concurrent enrollment courses. So we have some students who have already taken them, and some who will start to maybe take their first concurrent enrollment class this summer or next school year. Students are not required to take concurrent enrollment classes, but we encourage that if they're doing well in their regular classes and they have the time, taking advantage of that opportunity. So dual enrollment is our partnership with Rio Hondo, where students can take college courses after school or during summer, and they can get high school credits. And the courses that we offer differ each semester. So we advertise, we go into classes ahead of time, what classes we'll have in the process for getting into those classes. And we also encourage the students to join their Google Classroom because on that sophomore Google Classroom for New Horizons, they'll find information about dual enrollment, and that's going to be their Google Classroom for all of their high school years. So they'll be able to find the different workshops. They'll also be able to find, as they're getting closer to college, different application workshops, scholarship opportunities, and we post different information in there. And so it'll also take them step by step what they need to do if they are interested in dual enrollment. And this is also something that they'll be able to talk about with their counselor during programming, which I'll be mentioning in just a few minutes. Next, we reminded students that if they are planning to go to a four-year university right after high school, that they need to complete the A through G requirements. So those are the requirements that all UCs and CSUs require, as well as most private colleges. And one thing we definitely stress to the sophomores is we want them to meet their A through G requirements because, as I mentioned, a lot of them are still changing their minds in terms of what they might want to do. So at this point, they might think that after high school, they want to go straight into the workforce. But then senior year, they might decide that they want a career that does require them to go to college. So we want them to meet those A through G requirements so they have options. So that senior year, because they've met them, they could go to a four-year university if they wanted to, or they could choose to go to a two-year university, military, trade school, workforce, but just that they'll have as many options as possible. And we also go over this every year with our students when we help them select their classes. So some things that they should do now, we encourage them to get involved in a volunteer position that relates to their career field of interest. We know the last couple of years, volunteering has been a little bit more challenging with COVID restrictions, but places that weren't allowing volunteers for a while have started to allow them to once again. So as mentioned, they can come to the guidance office where we have lists of places they can volunteer, reach out to their counselors, as well as a lot of them who are in particular programs through their academies or different classes they're in, advertise different volunteer opportunities for students. We also tell them to talk to people that are in professions of their interests, to look at courses that are related to their college and career interests, and to complete online inventory. So additional inventories in CCGI and otherwise to find out what might be the best fits for them in terms of college and career. We also tell them to take advantage of field trips that visit colleges or job shadow, that those get posted in the Horizons Google Classroom, as well as advertise on our school website and Instagram and posters around campus, and to attend college fairs and career presentations. We held our college fair here in September, and then there will be another one next September as well. And we'll also be having Career Week this semester where they can come out and explore different careers. And then lastly, we encourage them to join CSF, which is the California Scholarship Federation, if they received A's and B's, and that's something their counselors can give them more information about. In terms of what parents should be doing to support students during their sophomore year is really just encouraging them to do several things to meet those A through G requirements, and making sure that they're getting their grades C's or higher in all their classes, that if you're comfortable with them completing community service and doing those volunteer opportunities in their field of interest, encouraging them to take concurrent enrollment classes or classes related to their future career interests, or classes that are just going to not push them to a level that stresses them out too much, but to take, a challenging workload that's going to challenge them without overwhelming them. To participate in extracurricular activities so that their free time is well spent with things they like to do and that keep them connected to school and making positive choices, and to also take advantage of leadership opportunities. So next year when they're juniors, they'll have the opportunity to be academic mentors or senators. They can look into joining class council, interviewing for ASB. So we talk about those different leadership opportunities. Also, it's a great thing to encourage your students to explore colleges. So you and your student can do virtual tours together, as well as we have several colleges in our area that you can visit, or if you're traveling, looking into colleges that are in that area as well. And then career exploration. So, looking online with them at careers they might be interested in. And that if people or your friends have people who work in those career fields, helping them make those connections so that they can ask questions about careers they're interested in. Also, so that programming is coming up. Programming is what we call the time that they pick classes. So in February, students will be selecting their classes, and we will send out messages during that time so that parents know when students are selecting classes, and so that they can look over their course selections with them, but definitely having those conversations about what the students plan to take during their junior year, and encouraging them to pick a schedule that is going to be rigorous to them, and also that's going to be relevant to their future career plans, or college and career plans, but is not, again, going to overwhelm them. So maybe if they're a student who's never taken an honors class, trying to take one honors class, but not, forcing them, of course, to have a schedule that's nothing but honors classes if they've never taken one before. During programming, students are going to individually meet with a counselor. If they find that they need more time or they have follow-up questions, they can always email their counselors. They can schedule an appointment. And on Wednesdays, we have walk-in Wednesdays. before school, during nutrition, lunch, and after school, where they can meet with a counselor without an appointment. On this slide is your student's counselor. So depending on if they are in a program or not, such as all the students in Puente, for example, have Ms. Salazar Valles. And if they are not in Puente, Avid, or CAT, their counselor would be based off of their last name, where it falls in the alphabet. So thank you so much for listening to this presentation. We really appreciate our partnership with parents and all parents are doing to help prepare their students as well. If you find that you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Allison Huntley, at wuhsd.org via email or calling, as well as reaching out to your students' counselors. We are here for your questions and to support you through this journey through high school and as they transition to life after high school.